To this now, there are concerns over the high number of unclaimed and unidentified bodies in KwaZulu-Natal state mortuaries. KZN has a total of over 1,500 unclaimed bodies. The province's officials are blaming this on the delays in DNA sampling, among other things. Now, for more on the story, I am joined by KZN Nehawu Secretary Ayanda Zulu. Ayanda, thank you so much for joining us this evening. A very, very alarming state of affairs there in KZN mortuaries. But also, as Nehawu, you have flagged concerns about worker conditions. Tell us more.
No, thank you very much. As the National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union, for the past 2 years, we have been raising this concern on the number of the unclaimed bodies in most of the mortuaries here in KwaZulu-Natal, in particular in Durban and Pietermaritzburg. At first, the Department of Health in KZN said we're lying, or what we're saying, it was unfounded allegations. We are now vindicated that even the portfolio committee and now have confirmed that more than 1,500 bodies are unclaimed in KZN, which almost amounts of 50% of quite a number of bodies that are not claimed in the mortuaries in South Africa. Last week, we submitted a memorandum to the MEC for Health in KZN raising this particular issue because some bodies date back from floods, July unrest, and some have more than 10 years. That is what our members have been telling us, which is a concern, taking into consideration the state of the forensic pathology, sometimes with the number of fridges not working, which result into the situation that is unpleasant, that put the life of our members at risk.
And speaking of, those alleged poor working conditions as well, when you're speaking about the refrigeration as well, some of your members had also claimed that there were no chemicals to clean and disinfect. And of course, this was also creating a stench for them as well. If you could break down some of the other concerns that the workers have brought up.
Yes, definitely. Last year, two of our members were suspended by the department after we took a decision as the union that our members must not work if they are not provided with the PPE. And that is the condition that workers are subjected to in these mortuaries, except that there is the understaffing that is there. Most workers that are working in mortuaries are doing all the jobs that are there, subjected to low wages. There's also a cry that we have raised as Nehawu. In Durban, there used to be a very big mortuary called Gay Street, which was catering for Durban Central and the parts of Durban South. That mortuary, because of non-compliance, was closed. That is why there's an overcrowding in most of the mortuaries, like the one in Phoenix, where there was a time where, as the union, we built a fact-finding mechanism, and we identified that there were bodies that were even lying on the floor, which the department also disputed that. So the MEC, the past few weeks, when she was making a policy statement, she said that they are now preparing to build some mortuaries in the northern part of KZN. But she was not speaking about the state of many mortuaries that are here in Durban and Pietermaritzburg. There's also big crisis when it comes to vehicles. Some are not working, some are not serviced, and even those that are working sometimes, our members are always subjected to hijacking. And we also raised the point that in all these situations, the unidentified bodies smell that is there, which is difficult for any person to tolerate. There's no proper provision of the psychosocial support to our members. So as the union, that is why last week we submitted a memorandum of demands making a call to say the South African Police Service, together with the Department of Health, together with the municipalities that are involved, they must now play a role in addressing this issue of unclaimed bodies. We also made a call that the department must fill these vacancies that are unfilled, address the issues of the vehicles, the provision of the PPEs to our members, the provision of the psychosocial support, and ensure that we have got enough mortuaries to cater our communities. It's a situation that we cannot tolerate, that the entire Durban have got only two mortuaries, the one in Phoenix and the one in Pinetown. So that is a situation that we think that must take the priority in terms of the work that the Department of Health must take.
And I also just want to make mention for our viewers as well, Ayanda, that we did reach out to the KZN Department of Health to be a part of this interview as well, or to at least get their right of reply. And they declined that, but they did send a written statement which does speak to part of the concerns that you have raised too, mentioning that there sometimes are issues with faulty refrigerators where the bodies are supposed to be kept. And I'd like to read you a part of their statement where it says, human remains are kept in refrigerated mortuary storage and unclaimed bodies are buried as paupers within 30 days. Now, you have said that the dating back of unclaimed bodies goes back to even like the riots period and even further from that, many more years dating back. But they're saying, look, our refrigerators are working. And also we are burying those bodies of unclaimed people.
Yeah, definitely. The bodies that are there, as I've already indicated, that date back as the July unrest, the KZN floods, and some are even older than that. And our members took us to both, I'm speaking largely on two mortuaries, the one in Phoenix and the one in Fort Neighbor. And any person who have been there can confirm this statement. So the only thing that we think that we can do together with the Department of Health in KwaZulu-Natal is that we both, the department and ourselves as the National Union, visit those two mortuaries so that what we are raising is something that the department can also see. But we do know that they know that they do know about the situation in these mortuaries. They are just playing hide and seek, as they have been doing for the past 2 years when we started raising this issue, which have got a big impact on the health and safety of our members.
Yeah, and I think...
And also to the dignities of the bodies.
And I think they're also conceding that there is an issue here. As the Department of Health in the province, they've said that they've put measures in place to address some of these problems as well, and they're going to be working in collaboration with the South African Police Service as well as COCTA and other stakeholders.
Can you please repeat? Sometimes I could not hear properly.
No problem at all. I was saying that they do concede that there are some issues, and they're saying that, however, they're on top of it. There are measures in place. They are working in collaboration with the South African Police Service, as well as with COCTA and other stakeholders. Now, as Nehawu, are you one of the stakeholders that they are working with?
No. No, we are not working with them. And I can confirm here that there are no changes from the reports that we have been receiving from our members. That is why I keep on making a reference to say, last week we submitted a memorandum. Even if you walk outside from Fort Nip, if you walk outside from Pinetown, if you walk, we are walking outside from Phoenix, you can hear the smell, even if we are almost 500 to 1 kilometers apart from the mortuary. This year, I did an interview with Newzroom Afrika. The journalist that was interviewing me can also confirm that on that day, like many days, the fridges are not working. The department is not working with us. We'll be waiting for them to respond in our memorandum so that we'll make meaningful contribution. But the situation is not going to change if the department is not willing to address these issues that we are talking about, which also talk about ensuring that the communities are having designated mortuaries.
Thank you so much for your time, Ayanda Zulu. Really appreciate it.